What up, ninjas? Everybody out there. So I had a couple thoughts on my head, and I just wanted to drop. So I'm bringing this video because I don't know how many other people are thoughts on stuff. Well, I think it's really interesting that Twiztid has came out quite a bit. As far as apologizing. We saw for the march, and now Astronomicon they did this whole huge thing about giving props to ICP and psychopathic, and there wouldn't be anybody without psychopathic. And I wanted to bring this up to everybody. This is right before the Gathering the Juggalos of Dreams. Now, I think it's kind of interesting that this is all happening right before the Gathering. To mention, a lot of people are like, hey, I just think it's kind of, really suspicious. Not to mention, some of the other stuff as well going on right now. And I'm going to drop a couple pointers. So stay for the whole video. That way, if you guys want to tear my video apart and take it however you guys want, that's up to y'all. So this is just some of my thoughts and some of the stuff I wanted to point out. Now, we know there's been, back and forth, Psychopathic Records not getting along with Magic Ninja and all this stuff, we've seen. But I will say this, you got a lot of people strictly like, oh man, I don't pick sides or anything, but mostly all you see their merch post is Magic Ninja they buy, or they buy a little bit of both. Anyway, what my point is, you've seen a big split. Like I talked about this before in other videos. Could this be like a situation a lot like we see in professional wrestling, where like WCW versus WWE or WWF, however you want to put it. They made a lot of money. Like I said, this whole beef or whatever you want to call it, it's gone on all these years, has made a lot of people a lot of money. And I am gonna drop with CPN, a lot of people would not be controversy makes money, right? So, it's most likely people are gonna, be making money, like a lot of people are like, oh man, that's clickbait, that's whatever. But this is some of the stuff that I wanted to put because I thought this sounded very good for a video. Is the fact that you look at everything it's been done, if nothing's going on, as far as when it comes to the YouTube side, there's not much to talk about or something. There's not money being made. When there's money being made, it's spread all over the place. And so, that's why you see every couple while you see different, rumor, something pop up. Anybody kill is going to be signing to Magic Ninja. MME artists leaving, it's just ups and downs. Big hoodoos in a sign with Magic Ninja or whoever, just some of the stuff people, but hey, if they got them paid for that day and made life a little bit easier, who really cares? Some people will be like, hey, at the end of the day, these people are trying to get a nice paycheck, Psychopathic Records, Magic Ninja Entertainment are both businesses. And this is what I want to bring up to everybody is, Psychopathic Records does need to bring money in at the end of the day. Magic Ninja needs to bring money at the end of the day. So that's pretty much, how business, if you got no money coming in, the business isn't doing too good. Psychopathic Records, I don't see them going out of business. All these people come back and, like, oh man, I think the only thing I think they need to do change, that which will be a whole nother video, and I think a lot of ninjas will agree with me on this one, is to drop more merch. More different merch that people want, like old school stuff, such as the old Psychopathic shorts with a Hatchet Man on the sides. And just a lot of merch that people probably want. Like they could do a release of the DMX jerseys, and I'll leave that for a whole nother video, but they're not going to have any problems. Alright, so let's get to this. Twiztid. So, Astronomicon, they went on and on and on and on and stuff. So, gathering the juggalos, gathering their dreams. we've been here, we heard, ICP, stars of the seminar and stuff like, hey, for anybody that's waiting for ICP and Twiztid or Dark Lotus reunion or anything, it's never going to happen. We've heard that, before, and, like I'll say this, like back in the day, there was a few ninjas that asked about ICP and M&M. And I mean, during when stuff was not going too well, and this juggalo, I remember he was like, he was like, do you think maybe, like stuff with you and Eminem calm down, maybe we could see the clowns and Eminem doing the track? And that never happened, Then we're, stuff like, people talk like, maybe we could have Eminem at the gathering, or we could have, do this battle thing with Eminem. You know what I'm thinking? Hey, this was something you guys said you would never do. Look at, how bad stuff was with Eminem. And a lot of people forget that. A lot of these younger kids don't realize the stuff, the situation, the gun being pulled. I believe that was on Alex. I can't remember 100%. But, you look back at that, stuff was pretty, not good. Like I'll say, when people are feuding and stuff, there's some wrongdoing and stuff. And so this is, brought to my thoughts a lot of, different things. Is there's a lot of people that are working beside with psychopathic and Magic Ninja. And one of the things I wanted to bring up is no other than Straight Jacket. We see Straight Jacket doing stuff on Shaggy and the Creep. Shaggy and the Creep, leak later, he's over there doing recordings with Young Wicket. Jerry Garcia. I know it's James Garcia, but we refer to him as Jerry Garcia. Anyway, so as we got Straight Jacket doing stuff with Jerry Garcia, pretty much, over there interacting, with Magic Ninja, and then, like we've had Light, back and forth, and, Light is planning on doing a track with Twiztid, so it makes me, with stuff so, bad and stuff between both camps, why would they be having, for example, Straight Jacket over Psychopathic, and then having the other guy over, Magic Ninja, Shaggy and the Creep? I'm confused at that level. That's why it makes me wonder really, how bad is stuff really between the two of them? And, could Psychopathic Records, could ICP be patched everything up with Twiztid for the Gathering of Dreams? Now, just hear me out before you guys are like, I didn't click off. I'm just saying, there's a lot of interaction between people, from both sides. And I think that's something that's really interesting. I'm surprised more ninjas aren't talking about this. But, for example, like ABK, for example, I haven't heard, a whole lot about Killa. But, everybody knows that Killa's been really tight with Blaze, especially with Drive-By. And, all the other stuff they got going on, why would they cause any more feuding? Why would there be any more other problems? And so I think that's, one of the situations that I think is very interesting. And not to mention, so let's say, there's a lot of people out there that are always going on, oh man, I'd love to see Dark Lotus. I want to see Riders. I want to see Wizard of the Hood. There's just the list of stuff that people say they want to see. And, I was thinking about, we went through the pattern of last year where ICP were talking about, trying to bring Cottonmouth Kings back together, right? Now, so that was like a huge thing, was like, oh man, if we could bring Cottonmouth Kings back, they won't patch up their stuff. Oh, they just should, so it makes me wonder, like how I say never. You'd be surprised that there's people, feuding. They're like, oh man, that never happened. Look at the Screwjob of the Montreal, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, that whole story. All right, let's talk about that for a sec. And just as you look, some of you guys will remember um, as Shawn Michaels, I believe, had Bret Hart in the sharpshooter, and they ring the bell, and they're like, "Yeah, Shawn won," and they called it the big screw job. Of course, Bret, spit in the face of Vince, and Bret was pissed, and that left Bret out of WWF, but that was like one of the things. But let's talk about that. That was like in '97 and 2000, later on in like 2005 or whatever, they induct Bret into the WWE Hall of Fame, which Bret Hart's like, I'll never step foot in with them again. But guess what? Bret did. Bret went back to them. And that's what I wanted to say is, never say never. People that I heard it would never ever get to work for anybody again. I'm going to bring this up since in the video, this is one of the big ones that I wanted to drop was Corporal Robinson. Corporal Robinson, everybody was like the big showdown in 2012. During SARS, right before, or was it 2011? I'm trying to remember which year it was. It was either 2001 or 2012. Corporal Robinson was supposed to take on the Rude Boy at Bloody Mania, and it was the big, showdown, the Rude Boy and Corp. And everybody knew those two had problems from a long time ago. Tis a long time ago, Corp won the belt from Pondo, and Rude Boy was, really upset, to his backstage. He was like, that piece of shit won the belt. So Rude Boy was really not feeling it, as far as they put the belt on Corp. And back, I think that was around like '05 that Corp won the belt from Pondo. But anyway, so Gathering went down. A lot of people said they got screwed by Corp on tickets. Like a lot of people admit that, and Corp did a lot of bad stuff, and Corp's admitted to it. Said he had a lot of drug problems and stuff, and Gathering the Juggalos last year rolled on. JCW Battle Royale, and the music hit, and who other than Corporal Robinson came out to the ring. Corporal Robinson made his return to JCW Wrestling. We have not seen Corp since the Gathering and stuff. But like I was going to say, they said Corp will never, ever, I want to put this very clear, if I would just, Corporal Robinson will never, ever take place of any of the things ever again with Psychopathic Records and all that. If you listen to the whole speech from Violent J talking about Corporal Robinson, it goes into great detail about the bad news and stuff. Corp fell into drugs really bad, but Corp would never, ever work for a Psychopathic show or any of that stuff ever again. So, very interesting enough, Corp made his return. That was last year. So, it makes me question, all right, is this really, or did they talk to Twiztid and patch stuff up? Like Corp, that was a shocker. A lot of people did never think stuff would come okay with Corporal Robinson. It didn't. And you realize a lot of ninjas got really screwed over on the money thing there. So that's one of the things I wanted to drop on this is, there's a lot of ninjas that showed up to the Gathering, really got screwed over by Corp. And Corp was like, I did a video before, saying, hey, if Corp can, make up to whatever happened in the past, then that would be fresh, if he can do the right thing. So my question is for everybody, did ICP secretly talk to Twiztid to have Twiztid show up this year at the Gathering? What's your guys' thoughts? I mean, I think it's just kind of strange, how they're bringing up all this stuff, and boom, the Gathering's like right almost here, and it's the Gathering of Dreams. Could there be secretly Dark Lotus plan, or could there be another Wizard of the Hood? Like I said, time goes by, and I think as people are getting older, they're realizing like, hey, what's the point of feuding anymore? Like I said, you see Magic Ninja, make it to the height, They probably wanted to. Well, I know that, they wanted to make it bigger. But, anyway, what I'm saying is, what's your thoughts, ninjas? I'm just thinking it's a little bit interesting to me. People, they say, would never come back. And I've looked at, Corp. Some horrible stuff went down there, and they welcome Corp to come back. And then we got, a lot of other people, probably will never show their face again, like Kevin Gill. And so it makes me wonder now, because there's a lot of people still want to see Lotus, and, they miss the whole, what they call it, the family era. And so, ninjas, everybody sitting at home, let me know what your guys' thoughts are. Do you guys think there's a chance it Twiztid to be a secret part to this year's gathering, knowing that, last year Astronomicon was going on, but hey, like I said, they patched us up with, stuff supposedly cool with ICP and M&M, stuff's cool with them and Corp, makes me kind of wonder. And you gotta say ICP and Corp are definitely cool, because ICP has their hands so much in JCW, that it's how it is. So, and a lot of people knew it, Too Tough Tony and Corp, they were all boys. So, very interesting, topic, very interesting thing. So, other than that, I want to drop also a shout out to DC Fago guy and Toxic Play Entertainment. Those two guys always keeping it going. So, if you guys did a chance, definitely check them out. Like I said, pick a ninja up, lift them up on YouTube, hit that subscribe, do what you guys gotta do. And ninjas, let me know your real thoughts. Is Twiztid going to be hidden for this year at the gathering? Or is it just, psychopathics just letting other people work with people? Do you think they would ever forgive? I mean, they forgave Corporal Robinson, which I really did not think any of that would ever happen. So, we got Straight Jacket, we got Light. You look at all the people that are working on both sides. It's kind of interesting. But, like I said, time goes on. People got to make money, So, ninjas, let me know your thoughts. Leave it down below. Rip this video apart however the hell you want to. I don't care. Whoop, whoop. And hit that subscribe to many ninjas as you can. Let's make juggalos do good on YouTube. Whoop, whoop.